But I still have questions. I know I should accept the fact that Karen Read was found not guilty on all the major charges. All the major charges. She was not guilty of second-degree murder, not guilty of involuntary manslaughter, not guilty of leaving the scene of a crime where a death took place. The only thing she was found guilty of was OUI, operating under the influence, which where you live, it might be DUI or DWI. That's what she got. 12 months probation. She walked out a free woman. I should just shut the fuck up. But you know I won't. You know I won't. There's so many unanswered questions. Michael Morrissey, the district attorney of Norfolk County, has already said, we think she's the killer. We're not going after anybody else. And I know there's so many of us that are like, shouldn't the feds jump in? The feds already did. The feds gave us ARCA. Thank God for the crash daddies, because I promise you, I'm not so sure that we'd be here today if ARCA hadn't entered the picture, right? I think the defense put on a hell of a defense, but without those ARCA guys, I don't know. I don't know. So the feds did their role. The feds just sort of like, here, let me give you this gift. So we should be thankful that the feds knew that there was an issue. They looked at some of the evidence. They brought in an impartial third party and helped Karen Read walk free. We should be thrilled, and we should probably, I would love for them to do more. I don't know that they're going to. But Michael Morrissey's not going to be in his job forever. And it might be a decade from now when there's a new district attorney in Norfolk County, and that guy might say, you know what? We should open this cold case. Let's open this cold case and see if we can figure out who killed John O'Keefe. And there's going to be some brave investigator who's not afraid. Like, maybe by then they will have cleaned up the police departments a little bit. Maybe. I know, God, I'm just like wishing away in this video, but maybe by then they will have cleaned up the police departments a little bit. Maybe Massachusetts State Police will undergo some sort of audit or something that will sort of weed out some of the bad people, force early retirements on people, get people out. Canton, we know, is going to go through the ringer in the Sandra Birchmore case, because a lot of the same people whose names you heard in Karen Read are also involved in Sandra Birchmore. I think that's going to be another black eye for many of the cops in Canton. So maybe down the road, there will be enough good cops, clean cops willing to do the right thing, that someone will say, you know what, I'm not afraid to investigate this. Let me step in and see if we can solve this cold case. What we need is a top-notch investigative journalist to jump on this. Someone tell me, if you live in Boston, does the Boston Globe still have that spotlight group that does those like intense investigations? They're the ones that blew open the Boston priest scandal like 20 years ago. Is that still around? Are there still people that do that? Because there needs to be just one brave, bold journalist who can be like, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to go against the police and everybody, and I'm going to find out the truth. Maybe instead of expecting the law enforcement to do something, maybe a journalist can do it. Win yourself a fucking Pulitzer, I don't know. They say a lot of times the cover-up is worse than the crime. That what you go to try and cover it up puts you in so much more legal harm that if you'd have just said, I think I did that. We'll see. Maybe someday down the road. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep making a couple of different videos, because over the last couple of weeks when I've seen some of this testimony, I've been going down rabbit holes. So many unanswered questions. I got to talk more about Chris and Julie Albert. I got to talk more about Colin Albert. There's still something. There's something about the geofencing data that Michael Proctor ordered and that Nest camera that Brian Albert allegedly got for Christmas and never said it. I can't help but feel like there's a thread there, and I'm going to keep digging. There's questions. There's a lot of unanswered questions. There's a lot of guilty acting people. And John O'Keefe won't get justice until there's answers.